Let me summarize what we have discussed in the previous video regarding to what data science can help you in our daily life. So the first type is that find a needle in a haystack. So that because we have a large amount of people, large amount of target, we want to find the most important, the crucial one that we are interested in, or the group that we are interested in. So we will be able to use the data science to help you to do that. We can also use it to prioritize the backlog so that it won't be treated as just first in, first out. We can also use it to flag staff early so that if something is going to go wrong based on the model that we created, we can try to predict whether it's going on the right track or not. If it is not on the right track, we need to stop it and then do something better before it goes worse. We can also use the data science to help us not only to do the design about A/B testing so that we can have format A, format B based on our experiences or based on the data science information. We can also try to get a better response rate based on the A/B testing stuff. Finally, we can also use it to optimize the resources, since resources is always limited. Targeting the things that we are interested in and use the resource on the most important thing is something that we want to do. The example is like our fire alarm. We will be able to target something that we are more interested in. And of course, many of those are overlap with each other. No one says you can only use one of that at a time. Sometimes it's a combination of different things so that you will be able to solve the problem. And therefore, there's actually a lot more possible things that we will be able to see. In the website, we also see some other proposed problems. Those are the problems either ongoing or they want someone to help. So let's take a look at these possible problems that we will be able to apply what we have learned in data mining, data science area to help. The first one is increase property tax revenues. So money is always something important. So when properties sold in San Francisco, and they are usually pretty expensive, we either accept the sale price, so that they say this house was sold for $1 million, sold for $500,000. We can either take it, or we will be able to say, wait, I think that house is way more expensive than you have paid. Is there something happened, or you try to evade some tax problems? So we can modify the sale price and collect property tax based on that amount. So which sales should you accept and which should you dig into? So the data science is we can use a regression model to help us finding out what is the proper range of the amount of money for this property. And this model splits properly into two: this normal sales price to enroll directly, or we can see some outliers outside of that normal boundary, and then we will be able to pay more attention to that. Or even it was sold too expensive and we don't want to overcharge those people. Another example is the eviction. So that how can we make eviction prevention more proactive by identifying the most problematic eviction notice in real time. So eviction indicating that some people are not able to pay for their rent or something, they need to be forced to go out of the house. And that obviously is something going very wrong. So can we prevent it before we comes to that step? So this is some data science will be able to help based on all the eviction information data that we had. Can we use it to find some model or some rules so that we will be able to see are these households go into the eviction situation? San Francisco environment offers financial incentives and technical assistance to help our constituents upgrade their lighting and refrigeration system. But their list of the lead is dwelling. How can they find new leads so that we will be able to prioritize? Some people are Rich people probably already have their things modified, or they even doing something even better. But for some neighborhood, do they need this kind of services? And it's going to be something that will be interested in. So you can see that this problem involving at least two things: find the needles in the hashtag, and another one is optimize your resource. So you can see that those are two things that are going to merge them together. So the service change is new and longer list of the probabilities with enriched data for targeting marketing campaigns. Another interesting example is the DPH, which is indicating the Women, Infant, Children Department of Health. Basically has seen an increase in mothers dropping out of their nutrition program, which moms are most at risk of dropout. So that's something that we don't want to happen. So if we will be able to see that something is coming up, or we want to make sure that the flag stuff early, if something can help the situation. So this is also another example. The other one is a small fraction of mental health patients use a large amount of resources, of course, and that sometimes is also some threats to the society. So can we identify high users early to improve their outcome and reduce the cost, so that we can prevent them going to the worst case scenario? What we can do is build a predictive model to identify clients at greatest risk for becoming the high users, so that we would be able to stop that going to the worst case scenario. TTX, treasurer and tax collector, wants to use behavioral economics and A/B test to increase effectiveness of collecting letters for unsecured personal property, such as a boat. And usually this is pretty difficult. So that based on the A/B testing things, what can we catch their eye, make sure they pay the tax, is also something pretty important. So that's what we will be able to do. Finally, we can also see another one for preserve the city art. Those paintings on the walls, on the pillars, require some money to maintain their quality, and therefore you need to do the budgeting on that. But how would you be able to budget correctly, or find a good way, because budget is always limited? How can you use those money is going to be something that we will be able to do. So revise cost formula for new tools to provide long-term projections and prioritize of the conservation projects on the demand. So those are there are so many different things can use the data science knowledges to help to build a better world. So these are some examples I found for you guys. I want you guys to think about what kind of things can you do, what kind of things that you see daily and can probably be improved. Maybe you are interning in some company, maybe you are doing some projects already, and more directly is that the projects that we will going to work on this semester, what kind of things can we do to improve something, even though it is a small thing. It doesn't matter. That's a good practice of what you can do, and use the knowledge that you have to improve things. So this is an introduction of data science I want to provide you guys. I hope you enjoy watching it, and this has a lot of different informations over here. Think about those things, try to stimulate your sense in data science, and we have a whole semester to work on this.